What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Anime and Manga Standouts. In this episode I'll be talking about Eiichiro Oda's masterpiece, One Piece. So I'm doing this little special video on One Piece because on August 4th it was the 15th anniversary of One Piece, so I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to talk about my history with One Piece, why I like One Piece so much, some of the characters, the arcs, just why I like One Piece and why One Piece is such a great series in general. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's get into my history with One Piece. So I first saw One Piece, it was a while ago, it was a long time ago. I don't know the exact year or anything, but I just know when I first saw it, it was the 4Kids dub. And I know some people like the 4Kids dub, so I apologize for this. But I first saw like the 4Kids dub, and I thought it was like the dumbest series I've ever seen. Like, I didn't like the character designs, I didn't like their voices. I didn't really look into it too much, but when I first saw it, I was just immediately like, no, I was turned off by it. I'm like, I'm not watching that series. It just looks stupid. I just thought it was this silly, retarded series. Like, I had no idea what it was really like. And so yeah, I kind of started off on a bad note with One Piece, and I never thought I would get back into it. I remember I used to make fun of it. Like, I'd be sitting there like it was like 5 years ago, I'd be reading Naruto or something, I'd be like, this is so much better than that crap One Piece. One Piece is retarded. Like, I had no clue. Like, I did not know. And I think what really got me intrigued to get back into One Piece is people on YouTube making videos, like people like Code Provider, J-Man, Insane Game Freak, for Neverworld, just people on YouTube were making videos and just talking about how great One Piece was. And just seeing these people so into it, it made me like really intrigued to get back into it. So I decided to go out and get the volumes, and I found a really awesome deal on eBay, which really helped me out. And I got like the first 16 volumes for like, it was like 30 bucks or something, 30 or 40 bucks, I can't remember exactly. But I got this awesome deal, and I actually did an unboxing of that if you guys want to see that, and I did my first impressions as well. And I also bought the collection one as well during that time period. So I really wanted to start One Piece, and I got through like all this like volumes in this box set here like really quickly. Like, I went through it so quickly, and I was like, I've been missing out on so much. This is awesome. And at first it wasn't my thing at first. I mean, I liked it at first, but not like, it wasn't like, oh my god, this is awesome. But I think what really got me into it is when I saw, it was near the end of the Sanji arc, when we first meet Sanji, and Don Krieg comes, and it's Luffy against Don Krieg. Don Krieg has all these like fancy, like, he has like these freaking spiked bullets, he has like this armor, he just has all this, like, all these gadgets and whatnot. And Luffy, like, he doesn't care. Luffy just does what he wants to do, and he goes to punch Don Krieg, and Don Krieg's like, oh, I got these spiked porcupine things. He had like this cape filled with spikes surrounding him, and Luffy, like, he didn't care. Like, he wanted to punch Don Krieg so bad he was gonna punch through those spikes, and he punched through those spikes and hit Don Krieg with this freaking epic punch. Like, oh my god, it was so awesome. Like, there was this big hole in his hand. Like, oh, that was, when I saw that, I knew Luffy was going to be something great. I knew he was going to be something great. And like, right there, I just had tons of respect for Luffy. Like, it was just so amazing. And from there, we go to the Arlong arc. And Arlong it's still one of my favorite arcs. And I think the reason why I like the Arlong arc so much is because I didn't really like Nami at first. I didn't like her character at all. I knew Oda had something planned for her, like a backstory to show why she is like she was or whatever, but I had no idea what was in store, because that backstory really hit me hard. It really got me good. She went through a lot, and it just made you hate Arlong, and Oda is so good with that. That's when I first noticed how great of a writer Oda is. Because he just set that up perfectly to make us not really like Nami that much, and then give us that backstory and be like, oh my god, she's been through so much. And then it makes us hate Arlong. So when you see Luffy and Sanji and Zoro walking up to Arlong, it's just the most epic thing in the world, because they're just ready to just pound pound him into the ground. And it was just so awesome to see that. Like, that fight was awesome. The backstory was awesome. That arc is amazing. So if you haven't seen One Piece, or you haven't read One Piece, and you like start reading it and you don't like it that much, I advise you to keep going at least until Arlong. Get to Arlong and you will see how great One Piece can be, how deep it can be. But we go from Arlong Park, then we go to near the end of the East Blue, and we get to the Grand Line, or we get to Logtown, and some stuff happens there. I don't want to spoil anything that happens there because we get some key characters there. So I don't want to spoil too much of that. But after Logtown, they go to the Grand Line, and the Grand Line is just, it gets even more epic at the Grand Line. We first meet Laboon, and Laboon is a giant whale, and Laboon is like, there's this backstory to Laboon, and like we'll see that backstory come back with Laboon way down the line when we meet another character, way like hundreds of episodes, hundreds of chapters down the line. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys who haven't seen One Piece, but I'm just letting you know that Laboon will come back later, and Oda is so freaking good at that, giving us a hint to something and then bringing it back when we don't even expect it, and we'll see it and we'll just be like, oh my god, I remember when that happened like 100 chapters ago. It's so awesome how he connects things that just happen, like something that happens way back in time, and we get to it and we're like, oh my gosh, I remember that. So yeah, we get to Laboon, and with the stuff with Laboon, then we go to Whiskey Peak, which is a cactus desert kind of, cactus island kind of thing, and this is where Zoro becomes one of my favorite characters, probably my favorite character actually, because Zoro has this epic moment at this place, because these people, like, they greet the Straw Hat crew, like they greet them and they like give them drinks, they give them food, they just have this giant party, and like Luffy eats until he passes out, and like the rest of them, like they drink or whatever till they pass out. And what these people were actually trying to do, they were trying to knock them out so they can like kill them off or whatever, because they didn't want the pirates coming in. And as these people were agents for this group called Baroque Works or whatever, so they thought they had like all the Straw Hat crew like knocked out, but Zoro knew who these people were. Like, he knew it was Baroque Works, so he's just waiting for him. He's like, yeah, you're gonna take me on. And they're like, what are you gonna do? You're one swordsman, you're not gonna do crap. And like Zoro just takes on like all of these agents. It's like over 100 agents. They're like fighting on top of the building and stuff. Zoro's like knocking the ladder like with like 50 of them on it. He's taking out like even like the high ranked ones. Like, Zoro is being a beast in that arc, and that's when Zoro, like, that moment just really made me like Zoro. I think Zoro is my favorite Straw Hat member. So yeah, we go from the Cactus Island there, and then we go to Little Garden, which is a prehistoric island, and we meet some giants there, and some other cool stuff happens on that island. I don't want to spoil it too much. So we went from a cactus island to a prehistoric island. Then we go to a snowy winter island. So Oda, there's not just one set background for his story. There's different backgrounds throughout the entire story. It's not just one like background throughout the story. And I think Insane Game Freak pointed this out. So we get so many different like backgrounds and whatnot in One Piece, which it just adds so much to the story. So we go to the Snow Island, and we meet another crew member. We meet Chopper, who becomes the doctor of the crew, and Chopper has his backstory with Dr. Hiruluk. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but we get a great backstory with Chopper as well. We get a great backstory for all the Straw Hat members. So we go from there, and then we go to Alabasta, which is a desert island, and we meet a villain named Crocodile, and Crocodile is one of the 7 warlords of the sea. So he's like one of the highest ranked pirates out there, and the warlords are kind of like connected to the military. And Crocodile is a great villain because it takes so much for Luffy to beat him. Like, Luffy has to give it his all to beat Crocodile, and I'm just letting you know, like, there's some just epic moments in Alabasta. So we went from the snow island to the desert island, and then after that we go to the stuff in Jaya, and Jaya is kind of like your typical town, I guess. There's a lot of pirates that come into this town, and they start a lot of trouble. But we meet some really key characters. We meet Blackbeard, which Blackbeard is awesome. Blackbeard is just a great pirate. The dreams of pirates will never die! Alright, I'll stop. But we get Blackbeard, or Marshall D. Teach. We meet him for the first time, see how awesome he is. And we meet some of the other warlords of the sea, the pirate warlords. We meet Kuma, and we meet Doflamingo, which we'll see later. I don't want to spoil too much. And we see Bellamy, and we see some stuff with him. And he's a pirate who just likes to start trouble and whatnot. And Jaya is kind of like a point leading up to this island called Skypiea. Skypiea is an island in the sky, so we're getting all this information about this island in the sky throughout Jaya. And Jaya is just a really cool arc because of that. Because we see so many key characters. We see Whitebeard as well during that arc. He's not on the island, but we do see him. And we just see a lot of key characters, and we get a lot of great information about Skypiea. So we go from there, and we go to Skypiea. And Skypiea is genius! You see Skypiea and you're just blown away by it all. And you're just like, Oda is a genius. His world building is just genius. It's amazing. Just seeing Skypiea for the first time. Skypiea may not be the best arc in One Piece, but it is an awesome arc. It is like, there's no bad arc in One Piece. One Piece has, there's flaws, of course there's flaws. There's flaws in any series. I don't really have many complaints about One Piece. I mean, there's going to be flaws in every series. It's not going to be perfect, but still, One Piece is an amazing series. But yeah, Skypiea, we see Enryu, and he's a pretty cool villain. Like, his power is just, he has this unbelievable power. Like, he can just like manipulate lightning. I said lions. Lightning into like animals and whatnot. Like, he just has a lot of power, and he's on the status of a god according to these people. So he's a great villain as well. And we go from Skypiea, and then we go to kind of like the comedic arc. We go to the Davy Back arc, and we get some comedic stuff, which is a great, like, Oda knows how to like have something that's really like deep and dark, and then he'll go into like comedic. Like, he'll just switch, and the comedic stuff and the dark stuff balance each other out. Like, they're both important in One Piece. They're both part of One Piece. So yeah, and we go there, and then we meet an admiral, which he's a really key character, Aokiji. We meet him, and he's really, really, really powerful, and it just shows you how powerful some of these characters are. Straw Hat Crew is powerful, Luffy is really powerful, but some of these guys are just way beyond the level. Like, this guy, this admiral, just whoops up on the Straw Hat Crew. He tears them up, and we just see some of the power of the world government. And from there, from the Long Island, we go to Water 7, and Water 7 looks amazing. Like, it looks amazing. It's like this Italian Renaissance looking. It's like on like water, and it's a water island, and it's so freaking, it's so amazing. It just looks awesome. It's amazing. Oda's islands are brilliant. I have to say that. And that arc is like CP9, Water 7, Enos Lobby and whatnot. That stuff is brilliant. That stuff, that's probably, I know a lot of people say it's their favorite arc, and they have good reason to say that. I might say that's my favorite arc as well, because that arc is so good. I know it's kind of like stereotypical to say that, but it is a really good arc. It's a little bit darker than some of the other arcs, but it's really good. So there, and then we go to or we meet another character at Water 7. We meet Frankie, and he's an awesome character. He becomes like the carpenter. He works on the boat and whatnot. And he's, at first you get a bad impression of Frankie for what he does. I'm not going to spoil too much. We get a bad impression, but then later on we see like his backstory. We get a backstory, of course, with all the characters, and we see what Frankie's really about, and we start to like him more. And he's really funny. He's really awesome. And like in the new world now, like he's got all these like, he's like a transformer now. He's got all these crazy weapons and stuff. So Frankie's cool. And then we go to Thriller Bark after we get the stuff with the world government, which I really don't want to spoil that. What Luffy and the Straw Hat crew do, because one of the characters gets kidnapped pretty much by the world government, and Luffy and the Straw Hat gang just barge in there. And I don't want to go into details, but let me say that that is probably one of the most epic arcs of One Piece, one of the most epic parts of One Piece. Stuff with Enies Lobby and whatnot. So then we go to Thriller Bark, which is like a complete turnaround 180, because we go from this dark, serious arc to this like really funny like zombie. It's like this floating like zombie ship island. It's this giant ship, but it's kind of like an island that's floating, and we just see all these zombies. It's just so like stuff that happens in Thriller Bark is so funny. We get some great stuff with Usopp, some comedic moments, like we get great moments with Luffy, like asking all like the zombies. He's asking like the zombies like, "Will you join my crew? Will you join my crew?" And we actually meet Brook there, or right before we get to Thriller Bark, we meet Brook, and Brook is like a skeleton, and he's like the musician or whatever. And Brook is really awesome. Brook is an awesome character. And he's got some awesome, like in the new world, he's got some awesome moves now. So yeah, Brook is so cool. And just that arc in general is really funny. It's really good. Just, yeah, it's a really funny arc. And we see Moria in that arc, which he's like the main villain of Thriller Bark, and he's not the strongest warlord, but he is really strong, and he can like manipulate shadows and whatnot. And so he's a really cool villain. It's just cool to have that, like, just that change in style from like having this dark arc and then going to a zombie arc that you would think would be darker, but it's more comedic. So it's really cool. And from there we go to, I don't even think I can pronounce this, but on this Sabadi, we go to this place where like the Straw Hat crew actually gets split up here, and they have to take their separate routes here, because one of the pirate warlords takes them all, like they get sent to all different islands. And after that we hear about some stuff with Ace. I won't go into details, but we get some stuff with Ace, and we go to like this prison, this this government prison, where Luffy has to like break his way out or whatever. And that is, Impel Down is an awesome arc. And then we go like into this big war with Marineford. We have this giant war, and like Ace and Whitebeard are two key characters in this. Luffy, Jinbei. I know I pronounced his name wrong in one of my videos. I'm sorry about that. I felt so stupid when I did that. But Jinbei, and yeah, so we got some really, really awesome stuff with the Marineford stuff. Just really great stuff. And then we go to the time skip after all that. And the Straw Hat crew meet up after 2 years. And then they go to Fishman Island. After they return, they go to Fishman Island. And Fishman Island isn't the best arc, but it is a good arc in the second half. It's a good arc. It gets a lot better. The villain isn't that great. But it's more of a thing to show off what the Straw Hat crew can do after the time skip. So it shows off like what they've learned in the past 2 years. And I thought that was cool how Oda did that. I think it was really necessary to have that arc. I really do. And then we go to Punk Hazard, which is the arc we're in now. And we got some really intriguing stuff. We got like a dragon at the beginning of the arc, like this fire covered island in ice. There's a little history with that, with half the island being fire, half the island being ice. A little bit of history with that. It was really cool to find out. We got this crazy doctor guy who's like really powerful, it seems. He can like manipulate air, gas, all gases. But yeah, so this arc that's on right now is really good, Punk Hazard, I think, in my opinion. It's not the best arc. I think I rated it a B. I give it a B. So yeah, that's where we're at now in One Piece. So yeah, One Piece has so many great things about it. There's so much about One Piece that is just amazing, and how Oda can do all this, and how well he plans out ahead of time, because he really does have all of this, not all of it, but he has most of this stuff planned out, especially like the critical points in the story. And we still don't know about a lot of the mysteries that are in One Piece, which I talked about in my Big 3 video. There's a lot of mysteries that keep like readers intrigued, and we probably won't find out these mysteries for a while now, because I mean we have the meaning of D. What does the meaning of D mean? These people with D in their name, what does that symbolize? We got the poneglyphs, which are ancient texts written by an ancient civilization, which only like Robin can read these poneglyphs, and that's why she's going out with the Straw Hat crew, and she's looking for like pieces of history so she can like put it all together and figure out this void century, which there's this 100-year gap where the world government has covered up this 100-year century. They just haven't, they will not like let people research this. So Robin is wanted by the government because she's researching this. They're really covering it up, so we don't know what the deal is with that. Who these people in this century were, like this ancient civilization. There's some stuff like Sanji's dream is to find the East Blue, and we don't really know where that is. Not the East Blue, the All Blue. What am I saying? The All Blue. East Blue is the beginning of the story. All Blue. The All Blue is where all of the four oceans meet up. So the North Blue, South Blue, East Blue, West Blue. All of these oceans meet up into one spot, and that's Sanji's dream. And there's something with that going on. Like, where is that? There's this doctor who's really, really smart, Dr. Vegapunk, and he just has all of this crazy technology. And we still haven't met him, and we want to know what he's all about. Just how strong. Like, we haven't seen a lot of these characters fight that we know about. There's characters like Shanks, who we see in the very beginning, Dragon. I won't mention who he really is, what relation he has to Luffy and the Straw Hat crew, because I don't want to spoil too much. The Admirals, we've seen some of what they can do, but we still don't know like exactly. And then there's like the there's just so much, like, we've seen most of the pirate warlords, the Shibakai or whatever they're called. But I don't think we've seen Doflamingo really. We've seen him do some stuff, but I don't think we really know his ability fully yet, which I think we'll get here soon. But yeah, there's just so many mysteries in One Piece that keep me coming back to One Piece. I really want to find out in this next 15 years, which I'm happy to just know that this is like the halfway point. We still have like 15 more years of One Piece if Oda is able to continue to keep writing it, which I hope he will, and most likely he will. But if something does happen, as Insane Game Freak said, like, even if something does happen to Oda where he just stops writing One Piece or something bad happens, One Piece is still, like, regardless, it's still amazing, even if it doesn't finish. I would like to see it finish, but it's still awesome, like, even though if it doesn't finish, which hopefully, I'm pretty sure it will. I'm pretty sure One Piece will get finished eventually. It'll be a while though. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. Just talk about some of these arcs, why this series is so great, and I'm looking forward to 15 more years of One Piece. So just thank you, Oda. Thank you, YouTubers who got me back into One Piece, like Code, mainly, specifically. Just, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to 15 more years of One Piece. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next week. If I decide to do one next week, I should. I'm not sure which category I'm going to do next week. It'll be a surprise, I guess. It'll be more than one series, more than likely. It'll be like multiple series next week. I just did this little special this week, but regardless, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week, most likely. So, peace! Oh, yeah! I stole that from Insane Game.